So, Christopher, I'm hitting the record button now. We're not even starting till right now, okay? And a couple things is Logan kind of seems like, now correct me if I'm wrong, but he's a younger male with he's just a male with darker hair that passed before his time, suddenly, unexpectedly, tragically. I'm not saying just. The only reason I'm wording it like this is because you have an additional male on the other side who seems a little older, and he tells me that he served to some degree here in the physical world, or he was at service or very knowledgeable, almost feels like a grandfather energy. And I think that he's a good honorable mention because he also brings a female companion with him through on the other side as well. So if you have a grandma grandpa combo over there, female passes of something medical and then declines gradually but quickly. Like by the time you got the hospital bed in the house, she's declining another step is what it feels like. So we're kind of catching the older lady on the decline. So I do have that younger male that passed before his time. I guess it would help if I had the desk view up here. I do have the younger male, but I also have the female, and then that male is a primary guardian angel to you. Oh my gosh, this is your brother, Logan. That's your dad and your grandma on the other side, and you literally brought Logan in, which I will never forget because that had to be the only reason. Think about it from that Logan that I had just had the door held for me. Like, think of it from his point of view. He just thought he was being nice. He had no idea. He was put there. He was put there. You guys, we do such simple things for people, and we don't even know we're, like, working for angels out here, you know? We have no idea what we're doing. I'm like, what's his name? Ooh, what do you mean? What do you mean? So, love it, love it. Okay, first of all, Dad says he's very proud of you. I think you have something that he wears, maybe a hat, maybe a piece of clothing that was always his, back of the closet type of deal, okay? Dad also gives me sign symbols that maybe we have ashes, okay? And then the female, she's okay. She's going to talk our heads off, so I'm just going to, like, shove her out the other direction, and she starts talking about jewelry. All right, typical grandma stuff. Okay, my brother was always putting people before himself, and you have your dad's ashes and some of his belongings. I absolutely love this. Okay, so let's get to the bro you've been waiting for, okay? So we have Mr. Logan on the other side. You know, he says it all happened very quickly, he's giving me some analogies. Hold on. I know I like it when they, so he gives me a couple of things. He tells me, really hard to breathe. Okay, the analogy is this, like, first of all, I take almost partial responsibility for the situation, but then I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean there's partial responsibility? And then he gives me an analogy where he's like on a diving board, and we either dive wrong or the board or something happens with the board. So I'm like, okay, so if I was just gonna play charades and come up with it's like something that went wrong, situation that declined, something that escalates out of control. And that's why he's taking partial responsibility, had the hard time breathing. That's why he's up at the diving board, like gonna jump, and then the board comes loose. Either way, the landing was... Oh, I'm assuming that that his breathing was highly affected this way as well. First of all, let it be known, it happens often here, so it's a really just a great example of repeating, okay? Worth repeating. That people that take partial responsibility, they can either be brought through by other people, or other people have to go first. So not only is the whole family helping everyone come through, which just kind of tells us that, you know, dad and grandma coming through is even more authentic. Everyone's helping everybody, and everybody's okay on the other side. And then I was like, did you see this coming, Logan? He goes, not that time, but yes, because I had very explosive behaviors like all the time. And he goes, I didn't understand myself either. That's what he said. Hello. And he just says that he didn't necessarily understand it either. I'm always on that diving board, and this time the diving board came loose. Was I going to jump? I don't know, but didn't have much of a choice to jump this time. It almost like, I guess I wouldn't have fully expected the process to complete. It was more of like the situation just escalated and continued. He always talked about it for years. Yeah, and wow. And then I was like, did you see it coming? He goes, Not exactly when it happened, Kato, but I did see it coming previously. Wow. I think there was also an attempt, but I don't. So here's one thing I do feel for this person. I feel like I'm always on the edge, but I don't mean it. And then at the end, I'm on the diving board, and I go to jump, and I wiggle it, and the diving board comes loose, like somewhere we've been before, but the situation kind of escalates itself, and I'm never going to do shoulda, woulda, couldas, but he does take partial responsibility for this, and then, oh man, there's a couple things. Repeating numbers, coincidences, and you see him out of the corner of your eye all the time. You think somebody standing in a doorway or has walked into a room and you look and nothing is there. So he's really focused on giving you a very spiritual experience as a human because, yeah, he's always had issues with his mom that escalated before he went down mentally. And I think that there is just mental health in there that also doesn't help. Like, you could be handling the situation as a perfectly normal, capable, emotionally mature adult, right? Or you could be handling it being any of those things not, and a splash of mental illness on the top that doesn't help things. It escalates it very quickly. And so he does take partial responsibility. He is okay. He is at peace. Everyone's coming through to bring him through. You're seeing him out of the corners of your eyes. You're seeing numbers, coincidences, patterns. So here's one thing I would say, I don't know. I hate to say, like, some mediums, I hate to say anything that would, like, get you hooked to it. You know what I'm saying? But what I would say is, I feel like he's a spirit that would communicate really well. He could make cold spots, warm spots. You'd smell him randomly. You could kind of, like, think someone's walking in the room and nobody's there. Also, using that kind of pressure is great with spirit boxes. There's a free app called Ghost Tube. Don't take my word for it. Have your own experience. See what you think. But yeah, there's a couple. I just feel like Logan is such a good communicator, and he's a strong communicator, so he's absolutely at peace. He keeps saying, tell him he looks like me, but our face shapes are a little different. So I don't know if you're full brothers, half brothers, whatever, but I feel like you look the same for the most part, but maybe he has like a pointier chin or something like that. Like your just face shapes are just a little different. Yeah, he tells me, he goes, tell him, everything's going to be okay. Don't let it... Emotions are how you know you're having the human experience. Okay? Don't let anything... You're a boat riding the wave. There's the ebb, there's the flow. There's the ebb, there's the flow. There's no ebb that's ever worth tipping your ship over, for sure. So just find the ebb, find the flow. Find the ebb, find the flow. And that's what he's saying to you. So I don't think you guys have the same mental struggles, if you know what I'm saying. Or maybe just not the same hot concoction that you got going on. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. Continue. Whatever way you hear him, just say you hear him. And you guys don't have to be dreaming to hear your loved ones. You guys can hear their voice say, well, I think that person's full of shit. And it turns out a couple months later, that person was full of shit. When you feel like you hear them, get a sign from them. Hello, Cheyenne. Acknowledge them. We do believe in fairies. We do. Because imagine if you were your loved one on the other side, would you ever stop? I would never stop. Never. Good morning, here we go. Good night, see you tomorrow. I would never stop, okay? See you in your dreams. Hi, Brooklyn. Hey, Megs. Hey, Brooklyn. Thanks for following. Okay, and so hi, Ireland, to Martina. So, yeah, never stop. And listen, if they send you 1111 all day long, all you have to go is, okay, Logan, I saw that 1111. And then he's like, finally, let me send 100 more, okay? I'm sorry, I'm a little emotional, so I can't get my mind to type. No, it's totally fine. Drink it in. Having a real mediumship experience, trust me, it can be a little overstimulating. And hey, I'm not going anywhere. And you can rewatch this at any time. Love ya!